Sergeant Juan Valentin fought terrorists in Afghanistan.
It was very hostile every time we would go out, and we would get into engagements with the enemy.
This is actual footage shot by a National Geographic crew embedded with Juan's unit.
We got stuck at night on a side of a hilltop. We found some IEDs on the road. The second vehicle that came up and parked next to us, from me to this wall here, hit an IED. I was thrown from the vehicle, landed on my back on the floor. I had shrapnel wounds. I messed up my back. Helmet ripped off my head. My headset bent, and I blew out an eardrum.
He recovered and returned to the fight, but discovered something had changed.
Coming out!
I was pursuing my bachelor's degree at the time, and I noticed that after that injury, my grades started sinking and sinking and sinking. I had no idea what was going on.
Juan was diagnosed with traumatic brain injury. Like so many other injured veterans, he needed help. And volunteer groups like Hope for the Warriors had something to give.
We fill the gap on what the VA can't do, what the DOD legally cannot do. They can't buy beds for somebody. They can't send them on a vacation. We do a multitude of things for veterans, from flying members to bedside, to helping them with adaptive needs that they might have after they've left the hospital, to granting wishes, all the way through to helping them transition out of the military with career help, from resume writing to mentoring to helping them do interviews, that kind of thing.
In addition to helping wounded warriors and their families rebuild their lives, many groups offer adaptive sports as a form of therapy. An organization dedicated to wounded Special Operations Forces introduced Juan and his wife to scuba diving with a trip to the Caribbean island of Bonaire with other wounded veterans.
That trip to Bonaire, that's what it was. It was the wives actually breathing for a change and thinking, wow, I got my husband back. It was a very, very great experience.
The weightless underwater world provides a therapeutic environment which helps eliminate pain. And breathing oxygen-enriched air has been proven to help heal wounds and internal injuries.
They encourage you to get out there, get in the water, and do something different. And it really has helped. Every organization has put in time and the effort that makes everything we do today possible.
They said, you know, this is a great opportunity to get out there and do something different from what I was used to doing. So I said, you know, I'll give it a try. You know, we did a couple pool things, and then we got out into doing the open sea certification, and I loved it. You know, scuba diving is actually a great way to do therapy and just to get out there and meet up new people and, you know, have some fun.
As the guys come through the program, the wounded folks come back and they act as mentors for other people. Nathan was one of our wounded guys. Now, you know, one of my best mentors and kind of my ambassador for this particular wellness type activity. He goes out, finds guys that want to do it, calls me, we put the package together and offer them these type of opportunities to do these type things.
What we're going to do here today is something that's very exciting, very fun. We're going to share the underwater world of speed with some of our favorite warriors in the world. These are men that have given everything for our country. We're going to give them as much back today as we can to get them weightless and have a lot of fun doing it.
It's great to be able to share that experience with, you know, nature and how it is in just a different environment. I think the biggest factor is that it reminds me that I'm not as limited as people would think I would be. I could do what I have been able to do for my whole life.
The freedom of being underwater is really, really exhilarating. So much easier to move than when you're on land, pushing a wheelchair around. When you're underwater, there's really no barriers. Your legs really are out of the equation. I use gloves that are webbed, kind of like frog feet, and so they allow me to pull myself through the water pretty effectively at low speeds, like the speeds that you'd use for reef diving. So I really didn't need my legs at all. These kind of things really do benefit us in more ways than are obvious. They do a lot for us. It's like psychological therapy. Really helps us to feel normal again and takes us out of that sense of feeling like we're disabled if we ever So most of us don't have too much trouble with that, but even when you feel good about yourself, it always helps to get a little boost.
It gives hope to those who are freshly wounded. It gives people the ability to say, you know what, if he can do it, I can do it.
Volunteers make up many of the organizations that serve wounded warriors, and the need is growing every day as more soldiers are injured.
The wars are drawing down, but that doesn't mean that, you know, these incredible young men and women that have sacrificed so much, you know, their lives have been forever altered. We as a society have an obligation to make sure that we give them everything they can do to achieve success in their new path. SOCOM's CARE Coalition, their motto is that, you know, we've got you for life. It does go on forever. Obviously, the reintegration piece is just one more step, and then there's the sustainment phase where we're always following up with these guys to make sure that they are doing okay.
Conflict itself is winding down, but we don't have a limit to when we will help. If you need our help and you were injured in combat, we will help you. We are seeing a growth in requests from people that were injured as far back as 2003, 2005. So it's not just that they're being injured today. Whenever they were injured, they're needing our help now. And those needs aren't going to go away, no matter how far down the road it is and if the conflict ends. So we'll be here.